Thank you for checking out my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. This video is part of the series of videos I post to try to help people out when it comes to aptitude tests like the civil service exam. Today we're going to talk about something that I already talked about, yung pinaka-basic na concept nito. We talked about converting units of time in my earlier video. And if you haven't seen that video yet, you can go ahead and click here. Watch that first para mas maintindihan nyo tong lesson na to. Because this lesson builds on that lesson. I explained the concept there. I know it's quite a long video, but if you master that kasi it will be easier for you to transition to this lesson. Today we're going to talk about converting units of distance. Now, when it comes to units of distance, there are quite a few things that you need to remember. And when it comes to civil service exam or college entrance tests, there are a few units na laging nagagamit, and we're going to focus on those right now. Again, I'm going to explain the concept a little bit, and then I'm going to demonstrate it, and maybe towards the end, I'm going to give you time to answer your own questions para makita natin if you really got it right. So, if you want to know more, and if you want to know if there is another video like this coming up, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the bell icon to know as soon as a new video posts, and you can reach out to me directly by going to www.facebook.com/Team Lyqa. Alright, ready ka na ba? Go ahead and get your pen and paper, and I'm going to switch over to my PC so I can show you how to do it. I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so let's talk about converting units of distance, and before we start, I'm going to talk about yung mga common muna na units na laging pinag-uusapan pagdating sa exams. Ito yung mga essentials natin na ratio or na values na kailangan ninyong tandaan. Okay, first, 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters, minsan 2.5. I'm just going to teach you 2.54 just to be sure, but on the day of the test, if you don't see exactly kung ano yung sagot sa 2.54, try 2.5. Baka 2.5 lang ginamit nila. Pero the rule of thumb is that pag mga exams, it usually ends sa second na decimal place. So, 2.54 pa rin yung pinaka-safe na tandaan. 1 foot naman is equal to 12 inches. I think a lot of us know this already kasi pagdating sa mga rulers, di ba? Ang rulers usually it's a foot long and usually 12 inches talaga siya. Nakikita mo yan dun sa gauge. So, ito yung pinakamadaling tandaan. 1 foot is 12 inches. And then you have 1 meter is equal to 3.28 feet. Now, actually, itong 3.28, pwede mo siyang ma-derive using yung inch tsaka centimeter na ratio na ito. Kasi nga, 12 inches naman per foot. Pero, it's just better to know this then, 3.28, kasi laging merong meter to foot na computation. So, pag sinabi kung ilan yung meters, alam mo na kung alin yung mas marami. Now, ang pinakagusto kong ma-memorize ninyo ay kung alin ang mas marami. So, ano ibig sabihin nun? Sa isang inch, maraming centimeter. Sa isang foot, maraming inches. Sa isang meter, maraming feet. So, alam mo kung ano yung mas maliit at ang mas malaki. Just by looking at this, ang centimeter, mas maliit siya sa inch. Definitely. Ang inches, mas maliit siya sa foot. Ang feet, mas maliit siya sa meter. It will come in handy pag nag-estimate na kayo kung kunyari, ubos na kayo ng time. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Kung ubos na ang time mo, nagko-convert ka ng inch to centimeter, alam mong dadami yung sagot. Kung nagko-convert ka naman ng centimeter to inch, alam mong kokonti ang sagot. Same for everything else. So, pag nakakita kayo ng tanong, kunyari, 36 feet, alam mo, ang sagot mo has to be lower than 36 kasi kino-convert mo siya sa inches. So, these are things lang na, again, parang nasa mind nyo na yan. Kung automatic na yun sa inyo, it's easier for you to guess the answer pagdating sa actual exam. Ngayon there is another thing that you have to remember, which is yung prefixes. Itong mga parang SI value or standard na values regarding units of measure, no? It's actually fairly easy to remember kung napag-discuss nyo to nung high school kayo. Now, I remember when I was in high school, we had an index card nitong mga prefixes na ito. Pero, we're going to stick to the few na laging ginagamit sa exams. Ito muna. Alright, so we have a table right here. It's more, ano ba to? It's a smaller and more manageable version of the table that we were asked to memorize when we were in high school. But ito kasi yung mga usually yung ginagamit lang. Ngayon, ang suggestion ko would be for you to memorize at least itong part lang na ito. Itong kilo, hekto, deka, base unit, deci, centimili. Kasi ito lagi yung lumalabas. Yung prefix kasi right here, the first column natin, ibig sabihin ito yung kinakabit doon sa pangalan ng base unit. Ang base unit natin is, meter. Ang meter kasi, ibig sabihin nun, isang meter is 1 meter. Yun yung dun siya nagsa-start out with. Kumbaga, ito yung 0 point niya. Ngayon, ang ibig sabihin nun, every time you move up, lumalaki yung value. You move down, lumiliit yung value. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Ang ibig sabihin nun is that if you have 1 meter, okay, pag bumaba ka dito, ibig sabihin nun, dumadami siya. Okay? I think most of us know naman na ang centimeter ay mas maliit kaysa sa isang metro. Okay? Ano ibig sabihin nun? Sa isang meter, you have 10 decimeters, 100 centimeters, 1,000 millimeters. When you move down, okay, pag ang movement mo ay pababa, nagpaparami ka ng 0. Okay? Plus zeros. Okay? Nagdadagdag ka. Pag ang movement mo naman ay pataas, okay, liliit naman yung value. Kasi, nagbabawas ka naman ng zeros. Okay, let me give you an example. If you memorize this, or if you know kung ano itong mga to, mas madali na sa'yo tumalon from one to another. For example, if you have, sabihin na natin, 2.4 meters. Kung i-convert ko siya to centimeter, okay? Ang goal ko is to find kung ilang centimeter siya. Ang movement ko is pababa. Ibig sabihin nun, mag-multiply ako ng number. Lalaki siya. Mag-move yung decimal place. Ngayon, how do I know kung ilan? Mag-start ka sa meter, kung saan ka nag-start, tapos magbibilang ka. You have 1, 2, dalawang talon. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Times 100 yan, dalawang zero ang idadagdag mo, or you will move the decimal place to the right, kasi nagpapalaki ka. So, para palakin siya, you have 1, 2, so 240 meters. Yung meters, magiging centimeters. 240 centimeters sa 2.4 meters. Again, anong ginawa ko? Binilang ko lang kung ilan yung talon. 1, 2, tapos, yun yung dami ng zero na idadagdag mo, or dami ng decimal places na i-move mo to the right. Ngayon, for example naman, meron akong 2.4 meters, same number. Pero gusto ko malaman kung ilang kilometers meron sa 2.4 meters. So, from meter ako magsisimula, tatalon ako to kilometers. So, I'm moving 1, 2, 3. Tatlong beses ako nag-move. So, yung 2.4 meters, igagalaw ko rin siya tatlong beses. Pero, since nababawasan siya or lumiliit yung value, ang movement ko is to the left. If you ever saw yung aking lesson on scientific notation, it's the same concept. So, kung lumiliit yung value niya, ibig sabihin ang movement ko to the left, you have 1, 2, 3. So, the answer is 0.0024 kilometers ang equal sa 2.4 meters. Okay? Again, if you know this. Now, it's really easy naman to remember kasi madali na, alam na natin lahat naman na ang kilo means 1,000. Kaya nga, ang kilometer is for every 1 kilometer, there are 1,000 meters. Sa deka, di ba yung dekada 70, decade is 10. Sa centi, madali din tandaan kasi you have 100, kasi di ba, centennial. So, 100. Ano ibig sabihin nun? 100 centimeters meron sa isang meter. Yung deci, kamukha rin ng deka. Same thing. Kasi ibig sabihin nun, 10 decimeters sa isang meter. Million, right? Okay? Kasi ang million is 1,000 thousands. Ang millimeter is 1,000 na millimeter sa isang meter. Ngayon, etong hecto, hindi masyadong familiar yan kasi hindi naman siya masyadong ginagamit maliban sa mga exams, no? But I want you to put it here kasi just so kumpleto yung talon natin from 10, 100, 1,000. Again, there are 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. There is 0.1 meters in 1 decimeter or 10 decimeters in 1 meter. Kahit ito lang part na to, tandaan ninyo kung ilan yung talon para mag-convert kayo ng values. Okay? Ayun yung mega, nilagay ko lang siya dyan. Although, hindi ibig sabihin nun isang talon lang yan, ha? Nilagay ko lang dyan just for your reference. Pag mega kasi, it means 1 million. Kaya yung mga mega jackpot na ganun, diba? Mega jackpot sa loto, ibig sabihin nun, ng mega is 1,000. So, tumataas yung value. So, in this case, if, okay, tatalon ka naman, for example, tatalon ako from, meron akong, kunyari, 1 kilometer. Sorry, 1 kilometer. Tapos, i-convert ko siya to, sabihin natin, millimeter. Anong gagawin ko? You move from kilometer, which is right here, okay? And then you move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, 6 times akong gumalaw, ibig sabihin magdadagdag ako ng 6 decimal places. Tapos, i-move ko siya to the right kasi dadami siya dapat. So, you have 1. Tapos, galing ka dito, you move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, ibig sabihin nun, there are 1 million millimeters in 1 kilometer. So, ito lang. I hope that you understand this kasi gagamitin natin siya. Okay, now let's put it into action. For example, the question is like this. Convert 28 inches into centimeters. Again, calling on dun sa technique natin ng canceling units na pinag-usapan natin when we talked about yung units of time. That's the same thing that we're going to do. You start out with 28 inches. I-multiply mo siya ngayon doon sa alam mong equivalent ng inches. Kung ano yung nasa itaas, kung gusto mo siya i-cancel, ilalagay mo siya sa ilalim dito sa kabilang side. So, ang mangyayari, 2.54 centimeters per 1 inch. Okay? Bakit? Kasi gusto nating makancel yung inch na yan. Ngayon, dahil centimeters na itong nasa taas, wala ka nang kailangan gawin, pwede mo na siya i-solve. Okay? So, for example, in this case, again, yung unit of measure, kung nasa taas siya at nasa baba siya dito, makakancel siya. Ang matitira mo is yung centimeters. Now, all we need to do is to multiply 228 by 2.54. So, kung gagawin natin yun, 28 times 2.54, okay, you can solve that. So, 8 times 4, 8, 16, 24, 32. And then you have 8 here plus 3, so 11. 8 times 5 is 40, so 4. This is going to give you 10 plus 4, 14. 2 times 8 is 16. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So the answer is 6. And simulan na natin sa dulo para mas visual sa inyo, no? So 2, 1, and then you have 11 here, carried on, so 7, 1.12. So 71.12 centimeters. Okay? Yun yung sagot. So again, paano natin ma-check kung may options tayo? Kasi dumadami. Kasi again, di ba sabi natin ang inches, mas maraming centimeters in 1 inch. So kung 28 ka nag-start, yung sagot mo has to be more than 28 pa. Or, to be exact, times 2.54. Let's raise the bar a little bit, okay? Paano kung ganito? Convert 3 feet into centimeters. Ngayon, sa table natin kanina, wala namang eksakto na conversion yung feet to centimeters. So, ang gagawin natin would be, gagawa tayo ng, kumbaga, daanan kung paano natin mararating yung centimeters coming from feet. So, let's start out with 3 feet. I-multiply natin siya. Again, yung feet naman, or foot, ilalagay natin sa ilalim para makancel siya. So, 12 inches per foot. Okay? That way, itong unit na ito makakancel natin. We will be left with inches. Kung gusto mo natin makancel yung inch, ang gagawin natin is, i-multiply natin siya do sa formula for inch, which is 2.54 centimeters per inch. That way, ang matitira ng unit mo is centimeters, which is yung hinahanap na natin dyan. So, isa-solve lang natin ito. Okay? Now, all we have to do is to follow this track. So, again, feet to feet, makakancel. Inch to inch, cancel. Matitira ngayon yung unit natin na centimeter kasi siya na lang ang natitira. Tapos ito ngayon, i-move na natin to across. Pwede natin i-multiply lahat. So, 3 times 12 is 36. Tapos yung 36, i-multiply na ngayon natin sa 2.54. Okay? So, 4 times 6, 6, 12, 18, 24. 2, this is 12, 14, this is 30, 3 times 5 is 15 plus 3, 18, this is going to be 6 times 2, so 12, 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1, 7, again, all I'm doing here is long multiplication lang ito, so we have 4, 4, this is going to give you 11, 91.44. Okay? Ngayon, bakit siya naging 91.44? Kasi may dalawang decimal place ka dito. So, ibabalik mo na siya 1, 2. 91.44 centimeters. Alright? Again, dumadami. Kasi nga, yung feet, mas malaki na nga siya sa inches. Mas malaki pa yung inch kasi sa centimeters. Kaya definitely, mas malaki pa rin siya. Okay? So, dito na papasok yung magulong part yung kung paano mo siya kukunin. Pero as long as you know your basics, madali naman siya ma-figure out. Okay? Ayun. This one, it's your turn. So, I'm going to give you a minute to answer this. And after that, we're going to answer it together. Okay? How many meters are there in 196.8 inches? Alright, let's solve it together. Sabi, how many meters are there in 196.8 inches? Again, magsisimula tayo sa inches. 196.8 inches. Para ma-cancel yung inch, i-multiply natin siya doon sa formula. 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. Now, if you notice kanina, yung 12 inches nasa taas. Yung foot nasa ilalim. Ang reason kung bakit ganun lang is because foot yung nagsimula tayo. So, ang gagawin ninyo, again, ang masusunod is kung ano yung makakancel na unit. Kung gusto mo tanggalin yung inches, dito mo ilalagay siya sa ilalim. Ngayon, after that, nasa foot na tayo. Pero hindi pa tayo nasa meters. Ang goal natin is makarating tayo sa meters. So, anong gagawin natin? Pwede natin multiply pa ng isa times 1 meter over 3.28 feet. Kasi sa bawat isang meter, meron kang 3.28 feet. That way, makakancel itong foot, maiiwan yung meter. So, we can solve. Okay? Again, makakancel to, makakancel ito kasi pare sila. Maiiwan yung single, kagaya ko. Laging naiiwan. Tapos, you can solve the number na ngayon. So, if you see dito sa number na ito, okay, you can solve it one layer at a time, or kung gusto nyo mag-lowest terms, pwede kayong mag-lowest terms din. I'm just going to use the traditional method kasi para hindi ko siya i-mental kasi medyo mahirap i-explain how it works in my head. Kasi yung iba naguguluhan din when I explain it. So, isa-isahin na lang natin siya. Okay? So, pwedeng 100 you have options actually. You can multiply these, tas i-divide doon, or isa-isahin ninyo. Either way will work naman. So, 196.8 divided by 12. So, you have 1 here, isang 12. You have 76. So, 76 is, hindi naman pwede na 7. Kung 6 naman ang gagamitin natin, that is going to be 72. So, pwede. So, you have 6 here. 6 times 12 is 60 plus 12, so 72. Then you have 4.8 or 48. So, magiging decimal na siya kasi decimal na doon. 48 divided by 12 is 4. Ibig sabihin nun, dito sa level na to, tapos na tayo, you have 16.4 feet. Okay? Etong 16.4 ngayon, i-divide pa uli natin siya sa 3.28. Ngayon, in my mind, kasi familiar na ako sa mga numbers, sa figures, alam ko na 328 or 3.28 times 5 is going to give you 16.4. Alam ko na the answer is 5 meters. Kung hindi nyo siya ma-figure out that way, it's okay. You can still start dividing naman the long method. Okay? So, ang mangyayari dyan, long division tayo, 16.4 divided by 3.28. I-move natin decimal place para mawala yung decimal place dito. So, nag-move ka dalawang beses. Ibig sabihin, move ka dito dalawang beses. 1, 2. So, magiging 1,640 divided by 328. Okay? So, again, kung paano mo siya mararating, pwedeng by trial and error, the answer will still be 5. The answer is 5 meters. And if you notice, again, if you know your basics, kung alin lang mas marami sa alin, yung inches, alam natin, paunti siya ng paunti kung dadalhin mo siya sa meters. Kasi ang inches, mas maliit siya kaysa sa feet. Ang feet, mas maliit siya sa meters. So, definitely, the answer will be way smaller than 196.8. Okay? So, one more. This time, I'm going to ask you to try yung table technique that I used kanina dun sa ating table. So, what you can do would be copy this problem and tapos balikan nyo yung notes ninyo kanina. And then I'm going to give you a minute to answer this, all right? So you can start now. All right, let's see how you did. Sabi, how many decimeters are there in 1.8 kilometers? Now, what you could do would be, you can use yung ating method na old school. So, start ka with 1.8 kilometers. Sa isang kilometer, you have 1,000 meters. Okay, napag-usapan natin kanina. Tapos, you can move along to cancel yung meter. Gawin mo siyang decimeter. Bawat isang meter kasi have 10 decimeters. So, you can solve it like this. Okay? Pwedeng ganyan. Or, again, if you know your table, okay, lilipat ko lang dito para makita ninyo. It will take you just a few seconds kasi gagalaw ka from kilometer, which is this, to decimeter. So, yung 1.8 mo, magsisimula ka dito sa kilometer, you move 1, 2, 3, 4. So, 4 times ka nag-move pababa. Ibig sabihin na magdadagdag ka ng movement to the right. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. The answer is 18,000 decimeter ang meron sa 1.8 kilometers. Okay? So again, that's the value of knowing this. Kasi pagdating nyo rin sa weight or units of weight, which we're going to discuss next time, that is going to be applicable as well. Kasi ang magiging gram lang siya. Okay? Kanina kasi meter to. So that's the same concept in action. Alright? So I hope that you get this right. And again, watch out doon sa aking Facebook page sa Team Lyqa kasi magpo-post ako ng mga exercises doon din. Alright? Alright, I hope you learned something today. If you did, click thumbs up. Make sure that you share this video with your friends, lalo na kung mag-exam din sila. That way, mas marami tayong matutulungan. And as always, if you want to reach out to me directly or if you want to request kung anong video ang gusto nyong gawin ko next, you can go to www.facebook.com/teamlyqa to reach out and talk to me. You can also go there to find out how to get the reviewers that I made and how to attend one of the upcoming review events na paparating pa lang. I would love to see you on one of those, and if you are not ready to do that naman or hindi ko kayo maabot, that's okay. Just subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon because every week I try to make at least one new video lesson for you guys. Thanks guys for watching. Happy learning guys. Aja aja. Kaya niyan. I'll see you in my next video and bye for now.